just want to pray. Lord, I walk and talk throughout my day, praying and talking to you. Why? Because I just want to think about you. You're consuming my thoughts. See, that's third base. When you get there, you begin to open up. You begin to show yourself who you really are. You begin to expose yourself to God. That's third base. But in our spiritual life, this is only for your spiritual life. Let me say that one more time. God, in your relationship with God, God wants you to score.
Yeah, come on.
Stay with it. See, at the moment you score,
Yes, sir.
that's the moment in your relationship where you become intimate.
Yeah.
That's the moment you begin to become one with God. See, not as good he has his arm around you. It's not as good you think about all this, but you are one. You are together. There's only a feeling that only God can give you what you for. See, you go through life and not looking at other people for the simple fact you're going home to God. So that's the person that you want to be with. That's the person you want to be with. You must know and understand. See, God wants to be intimate with you. See, you got to set the atmosphere. How do you set the atmosphere for intimacy with God? First of all, just like we just talk good to him.
That's right.
You're a God. You a great big old God. You sit high and you look low. You got the whole world in your hands. See, you just talk good to God. And you say, then you start singing, I love you. See, you're setting the atmosphere for intimacy. See, when you start singing to him, he starts moving. You start opening up yourself, and then you open yourself to him. You expose yourself. You say, look, God, I'm nothing. You start admitting all your failures and your faults. Without you, God, I need you in my life. Lord, I was this and I'm that, but I know you, God. You can change it and work in me. And that's the moment you expose yourself. That's when God becomes intimate in your life. God wants you to score in this relationship. But you gotta grow up. You gotta move from the batter's box to first base. You gotta go from first to second, and you gotta score. See, the process, the first thing you got to spend time. Because the more you spend time, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more you know, the more you understand God, the more your scope of life begins to broaden, the more I spend time with you. Second thing that you do in this process from becoming a child to the man, the first thing is spend time. The second thing, I must nurture that which is in me. I must nurture the growth. See, you must understand what you put in is that what you put out. If you put time in, he'll give you time. He'll work things in you. And then you have to protect those things that are in you as they nurture. What do you mean? When you nurture it, it's good that you come to church on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock. That's good. But how do you nurture that what you're doing at 11 o'clock? You come to Sunday school. But then, not only do you come to Sunday school, but you come to Sunday school on time. That way you get all of it. And that way you can begin to nurture that what you're getting at 11 o'clock. And then when you want to take it to the next level, you show up on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock for Bible study. Because when you do that, that begins to nurture that what you got in Sunday school, but that what you got at 11 o'clock service. But then I want to grow a little bit more. I show up at 6:30 for prayer meeting. Because by prayer meeting, I can talk to him just a little bit more. I can continue to nurture that which is already in me, and I continue to grow up. Because I want to grow up so that I can go to that place God. You have to nurture that which is God's given you. Then the scripture in chapter 7 says, but when I became a man, this is point 3, I like this. I put away childish things. I put away childish things. Third thing you have to do in the process, you got to get rid of some things. I had a conversation with my aunt, Jessie Williams. If you ever go to the house, you got plants everywhere. So I called her, I said, Auntie, what's the purpose of pruning? Why do you prune plants? She said, well, you prune plants in order to get rid of those things that may hinder the growth of the plant. So you go in and take in, because anything connected to the root can hinder the growth of the total plant. So you go in and just snip and cut away all those things that may be hindering the growth. But she took it a little bit further, and I really like what she said next. Everything you cut off is not dead. Everything you cut off is not dead. She said, they may be very good-looking green leaves, but you still may have to cut them off because they're still hindering your growth. See, there are some things in your life that just look good to you, but they still are hindering your growth. You got to snip those things off. That might be a relationship in your life that is hindering your growth. You got to snip that thing off. That may somebody a job that looks good to you. You may have to snip that thing off because it's hindering your growth. It'll prohibit you from being what God wants you to be. You have to snip it off because it hinder you and eliminate your full potential. No matter how good it looks, you got to suck it up. See, that's the hard thing. You get used to things. You have these mindsets in your mind, how things should be, how things should look. And when they look like that, you don't want to deal with the reality that they're still not for me. I still have to cut them off. No matter what the situation is, if it hinders your growth, you have to cut it off. Because when I can cut it off, I can get to that place. See, in my growth, if I cut some things off, I can continue to get to that place God has for me. How do you want to go out and spend time with God? I have to nurture that which is in me. And I also have to snip some things. And my last point is simply this. If you flip over to Exodus chapter 1. Exodus chapter 1. Exodus chapter 1. Beginning at verse 8. And it reads this. Now there arose a new king over Egypt, who knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And if it comes to pass that, when they are fallen out of the war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Phidium and Rames. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. Amen. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Fourth point is this: growing ain't easy. Growing up ain't easy. Why isn't growing up easy spiritually? For the simple fact the devil does not want you to grow up. See, the devil knows and he understands if you continue to grow, he won't be able to do nothing with you. See, in the text, Pharaoh recognized that the children of Israel are mightier men. That they were raised better, they looked good, they were better, because he knew something about them was different. He knew not Joseph, he knew not their past, but he knew he had to stop their growth. Because he knew if they continued to grow, at some point in their maturity, they would turn against him. And so he sent out a decree, kill all the firstborn males, get rid of them. Because if I can get rid of them and stop their growth, I will be okay. What am I saying? See, the devil is trying to stop your growth. Those trials and tribulations you're dealing with is because the devil is trying to stop your growth. For the simple fact, once he knows if you ever grow up spiritually, see, he'll throw a challenge at you, you'll throw a verse right back at him. Because he knows if you grow up spiritually, there's nothing he can do with you. What happens in Exodus? Moses' mother puts him in a basket, floats him on down the river. See, he tried his best.